Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring team.
Oh, partner.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Carl Tiley, in studio with my good mate, Paul Mawate. Paul, how was the week, mate?
Well,
No rugby league.
no, I know it's been a long season, but I did miss it.
Yeah.
It was there was nothing doing.
No, I've got a little story about that I'll save for later on.
Oh.
Who we got this week? The great man, Nick Tedeschi. How are you, Teddy?
Oh, better than last week.
Yeah,
That's good. We received some feedback.
we did.
About the sound of the voice.
Yes.
Almost on death's door. Yeah, well, turned out tonsillitis had manifested itself into an abscess in the throat, so airway's barely there, so barely got through. So it's been a while in hospital, but luckily it was Super League Grand Final night, so it was just on the circuit all night.
I truly don't know whether to be, sad for you or happy for you. It's a real coin toss.
But yeah,
I wasn't sure either, sitting there at 4 a.m. with people throwing up around me and sirens going off and going, gee, you must have been on the under as well, were you not?
so you were punting. You were punting from the hospital bed.
The entire time. I got quite annoyed when I got called in by a doctor just as I was about to put an NBL same game multi on. That lobbed.
Is our social clip for the week. I had comments. I clipped up a video for social yesterday or the day before and got the boys to run a little spell check on the thing, and they came back and said, "How can you understand what Teddy is saying?" I just made some words up.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I was in there, and the doctor goes, "I'm sure you normally don't sound like Kermit the Frog." I said, "Probably not quite, but probably closer than you think." I don't think this is as extreme case as you think it might be.
Teddy speaks like a doctor writes. You just what the hell's that? Yeah.
But I went into the hospital on Saturday, and my wife couldn't understand me. No one could understand the words. So I've got no idea how I got to the podcast last week. But that was John Sattler in the 70 grand final performance.
Oh, he snuck in a 1970 reference.
Wow. Okay.
Won't be the last.
And of course, our fourth man in this week, the only person who's probably got the pedigree to be on an NRL podcast, is former NRL player Blake Ashford. How are you, Ash?
Oh, I'm very well, thanks, lads. We'll keep it short and sharp. We'll get it rolling, on a tight timeline today. Teddy's taken up 5 minutes of the podcast already. It's good to see he's healthy, but let's get into it.
Yeah. Basically, sit down, shut up, Ted. We've got some stuff to do.
Ash won't be the first person to have told me that. He won't be the last.
All right, fellas, it's a pretty... we've got the Pacific Championships this week, but given apparently there's a game on last week. You wouldn't know here in New Zealand. It wasn't on TV, unfortunately. Teddy in 10 words or less, which I don't think is possible, but give us a revision of the Prime Minister's 13 v PNG.
Absolutely pointless game, other than the police. It was great that the name was announced for the new PNG team, PNG Chiefs, which is all very exciting. Game, great seeing the Papua New Guinea team come out. They take this game very seriously. Kevin Walters clearly has no idea what he's doing. Why he's risking Mitchell Moses and stuff like that is beyond me. And the highlight was probably the 0 from 7 goal kicking performance from Australia that allowed the plus to sneak on home. So something for the battlers.
I did see a clip of Mitchell Moses missing one from dead in front.
Yeah, they were missing from everywhere. I wouldn't like to throw allegations out against anybody about who's bet on what. But if you watch that game blindly and saw some of that goal kicking, question marks. And the ladies' game, 50-0 and still didn't cover, so filthy. 52.5 for line.
Oh,
Sick.
Whoa.
Okay.
Missed almost as many goals. So I certainly wasn't on the couch cursing names of most of those players.
There you go. 10 words or less. How good. We're going to get back into top 10s this week, fellas. We've got a bit of air to kill. Passed it around the group chat last night, the one that Teddy's in. And
Not the other one.
and we've settled on top 10 players to never play international footy, which I think is a good one. And I'm sure will serve a few vetoes.
Wasn't as good as my one as top 10 worst players to play international footy, but of course we're a positive podcast.
We are a positive podcast. We are. Who wants to start? I don't want to get my first one vetoed. I'm going
I'll kick us off. The most obvious one of all time, Brian Bevan in the Australian team of the century, scored 834 tries in the English Rugby League, but only ever played 8 games in Australia for East. Brian Bevan. Easy selection.
Easy. Like,
Well, when you make the team of the century and you never play for your country, that's a pretty easy one.
tossing this up last night, I thought it'd be easy, but I actually found it quite hard because
A lot of
there's
people
a
play
lot
for
of
Australia.
players, a lot of people, but they've had like 1 or 2 games on a tour, things like that, where it sort of rules them out. I'm going John Sutton.
Yeah,
300 plus games. I think I used him for Origin as well. But, you know, for someone who's a versatile player who you think could actually play in the forwards and the backs, for him to not get picked on a bench or even a touring squad, probably. And going over 300 games, I think he might be only one or a handful of them that didn't play for Australia.
you going to go next?
Matty Orford won a premiership, one of the best halfbacks in the game going round, was extremely consistent throughout his career, but was just around in a time when there were some, I guess, elite halfbacks playing the game. So Matt Orford for mine.
We have Preston Campbell.
Yeah.
Good player, never to get higher honours. I don't need to say a lot about Preston Campbell. Teddy?
I'm going to go with 80s and 90s superstar Phil Blake, who
Love Phil
was
Blake.
absolute superstar to watch, master of the chip and chase. Only played 1 Origin game, never played for Australia, but was, when you think of 80s football, Phil Blake's one of the first kind of mind. So Phil Blake for me.
I love Phil Blake. He was one of my favourite players growing up.
One of the first stars.
Named after him too, I hear.
Yeah. Chip and chase the same straight out of the womb. I've gone Benny Barber, and the reason I have, and I took it back to Dally M's. So there's probably only a handful of Dally M's you can actually name, or probably less than a handful, that never represented. And we just spoke about how hard it was to name players because usually they get on a tour. Well, Benny Barber had one of the best seasons we've ever seen and still didn't manage to even crack a squad. So for me, I'd say Benny Barber. And obviously the players in front were the reason why. But, you know, you think he'd make a squad.
I had him on my list as well. He was one of those guys that, you know, if you look at the length of his career, you're like, well, of course he didn't make it. He didn't do much for most of his career. But at his peak in 2012, if you were listing the 10 or 20 best individual seasons, that would be up there.
I'm going to go Alan Tongue, who played over 200 games for the Canberra Raiders, could play lock, could play hooker, possibly second row at a pinch. But he's the sort of player that just gets on and does all the dirty work, and I think he would have been perfect either coming off the bench in the 14 for the Kangaroos. His work rate was just superb, and he never had a bad game, I don't think. So, Alan Tongue.
If he was born in Townsville instead of Tamworth, he would have had bloody 30 Origins under his belt.
Correct. Yes, indeed.
Yep. I'm going to go for someone who's still playing. Back end of his career now, though, Clint Gutherson. Pete Gutho. God, what?
Go, Teddy, do it.
I'm not going to say this is a podcast.
Yeah, sure. I think Pete Gutho, he would have walked on to plenty of international teams, but obviously not good enough or behind too many players for Australia.
I'll veto. I'm going to veto that. Look at him, Gutho, please.
Wow. Why not?
Because he's just like an average player. Like, he's a good, solid player, but like, I mean, good, solid players mean you should be playing for Australia. Good, solid clubman for mine is what he is.
Okay.
And no knocking Gutho as a player. Like, I agree at his best. He was a good, solid player, but he also wasn't like the guy who was like just behind someone. Like, he was. I don't reckon I've ever heard Gutho mentioned in dispatches for Australia ever. Okay. I'm going to throw one out, going back to the 80s again. You'll all know his son, Jackson Hastings, but Kevin Hastings, great halfback for the Roosters at the time. But how about being stuck in this queue? Behind Peter Sterling, Steve Mortimer, and Tom Rodonicus. Very hard to get past those. So, but actually, it was the New South Wales halfback, I think, in the first ever Origin game for Hastings. So knocked them all off for that spot, but give me my go there.
I like your tactics. You just go back far enough that
You can't.
Blake and I probably can't have a say in this. And Paul's
You don't even know if Kevin Hastings is a real person.
exactly. It's a wily tactic, and I don't like it.
Right, yeah. Kevin Napier now. I'm going to go. Forget about it. Go, Blake.
No, I'm done. We up to 10. I've had Phil Blake being used, a couple of others. Preston Campbell was used.
We're at 8.
Have we only got 8?
And there's heaps I'm forgetting. I know there is. I just didn't.
I actually don't know if there is, Blake. Like, it was a hard list to put together.
Here we go. You enlisted the help of AI for this at some point, and it spat out a list of top 20. Some had played test matches, so I asked it to review the list. But it did spit out some names. Number 3 on this list
Croker
was Blake Ashford. And
I didn't even make Origin.
Exactly. And look, the note here, why he's here. Smart, composed defender with 170 plus NRL games. Never got a look in for rep honours despite playing key roles at multiple clubs.
Oh, yeah.
And a summary, quiet achiever, coaches loved him.
Oh,
I love coming on this podcast. I just get lifted.
Asterisk, coaches loved him except for Flano. How's that for the ego, Blake? That's
yeah, AI. New friend, AI. Get around it. Let's get away the future.
yeah.
I'm going to be immortal on AI in about 5 years.
Has AI been hacked? I don't know.
Well,
I want to know.
you like this one too, Teddy. Also on that list, and I think it was number 2.
Wade McKinnon.
Wade McKinnon.
Yeah, I knew that.
specifically 2007 Wade McKinnon.
What a great try scorers.
What about the try? Wade McKinnon. Oh.
There we go.
Well, there's 10.
I got a couple others I had, which I'm always scared doing these lists because
Croker.
you get judged.
Is Croker in there?
Not on my list, no.
Oh.
But he's another 300 gamer that didn't get a look on. Sean Fensom.
Oh, I love Sean Fensom.
Yeah. He'd be one. Bryce Gibbs.
Oh, I love Gibbo, but I don't think he was.
I don't even think Bryce Gibbs would put himself in for Australia, would he?
Okay.
Great player, though. Great player.
There's a list there somewhere, as always. Anyone else got any other names I want to throw out?
He's no Blake Ashford.
That are from this.
Few others from me. Couple of Bulldogs. Luke Patton. Great player, but in an era of great fullbacks. Probably in the Gutho mould, though, if I'm being fair.
Yeah.
Aidan Tolman. Got to a bucket load of work. Again, bit of a plotter, so I'm not going to the wall.
Probably
I'm not going.
not.
I'm not going. I'm not going to the wall on that one. It was down the list. The one that should be on there, and we're going to go right back in time now. Harry Bath won 5 premierships in 5 years. Played for St George in Australia. Won 2 championships and a cup with Warrington in the UK. One of the great players, but spent most of his career in England. So Harry Bath.
One of the great highlights packages, Harry Bath. You go find it. I've got no idea. Yes.
I didn't know how to take that.
There we go.
Yeah, that seemed like it was good. We were delving into the world of sleaze there.
What?
What?
No.
Goodness me.
Oh.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I lost it.
If you can make a list out of those players, good luck to you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, look. We've got a new TV in this studio, I just noticed.
Oh, Mr. Observant.
Yeah, wow. Just locked in, always. Okay, let's go to the good, the bad, and the ugly. Teddy, you can kick us off again if you like.
I'd love to. The good. Rugby Union paying to have Carter Gordon back. He played reserve grade. He played one of the worst first grade games ever. This will go down as maybe the singular worst one-game performance in the history since Greg Smith. And Australian Rugby, who are supposedly dead broke, have come out and spent money to get this guy back. That's incredible. The Titans would have paid them to take him away. Absolutely incredible. So well done to Josh Hannay for starting to clean house there. But also well done for getting a couple hundred large out of a broke, derelict, deadbeat organisation.
Couldn't just leave it at broke. Just that's it. You put the boot in.
Oh, gee.
There were big raps on Carter Gordon when he signed with the Titans.
By people who watch Rugby Union. Did you see his game? Have you seen his stats in the game? He made 13 tackles, missed 7, 4 handling errors from I think 11 touches of the ball. Great effort.
Pretty good going, I thought.
Rugby mustn't require tackling or catching a ball. Is that how Rugby Union works these days?
Not when you're a first 5. No, you're there to score points. You're not there to defend.
Well, presumably you've got to catch the ball at some point. You didn't manage to do that either.
You said it yourself 2 weeks ago when you admitted to playing rugby at 5'8". You said, I don't tackle. I was there.
Yeah, we didn't win it. We didn't win a game either.
Oh, gee. Prayers for the Orange City under 17s and 19, whatever.
Too good. Blake, what's your good?
My footy's just my good is just that footy's back. So it means for me more punting on things that I sort of have a little bit of an idea about. Or do I? I don't know. But that's my good that the footy's back this weekend. We've got 4 games. So I will be across all.
I don't know if you heard the pod last week, but suggestions from the wash-up of the year, you don't know what you're doing.
Really?
Mm.
I didn't tune in. Was it? Did I go into the minus?
You fell to 3rd.
Yeah, middle of the pack. Not too bad.
We've got low standards here on the advantage line. Paul, you're good.
The good, just the quality of the squads that were named for the Pacific Champs. It's just so fantastic to see strong Samoan, Tongan teams, and it will only make international rugby league that much stronger. Just unfortunately, the NRL just don't seem to be too interested in that side of the game. But when you've got the likes of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Brian To'o, Jerome Luai, Payne Haas lining up for Toa Samoa, it can only mean that the game stays healthy. So I'm loving this. Is going to be a fantastic tournament. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep, agree. My good, more so, it's good in the way that I'm interested about this. So Melbourne Storm have released Nelson. They've freed up $850K in the cap. They don't typically buy big name players, Melbourne Storm, but do we think, there's a question to the group, do we think that the Storm are in a position now where they should be buying big name players and using that money?
No, I think their bigger issue is depth across the bar, not not big name talent. Well, they never really had.
Between 2 or 3.
What was that? Sorry, Carl?
Spread it out between 2 or 3 players.
I think they could do. They could do well to spruce up their outside backs and maybe get some talent out of it. They're spending so much money in the 4 spine positions. I don't know that they need to necessarily go out and spend a bucket else. And I imagine they're spending quite a bit of money on Eli Katoa and a few others as well in those positions. So I think I think their issues are around what happens when bench players come on and off, and what happens with injuries and stuff like that. So, and also, like, to be honest, I'd be spending less money on a Cameron Munster or declining talent than, you know what I mean, rather than needing to go buy Naughty now.
Yeah, I think that Pappenhausen will probably go to this new rugby outfit, which will free up some more money. So I'd be looking in the outside backs as well. Maybe get another fullback, but with that money freed up plus Nelson, I mean, I get your point, Carl. I'd be going after a big fish, and then you'd have some more play money around to spread across 3 or 4 to actually get that depth you need.
I heard
you got to remember they went after a big fish this year. Like, they went and got Stefano. Like, that was a big splash for the Storm.
Not sure he's made a big splash, but yeah.
No, I don't disagree with that. I'm saying in terms of like the finances for Melbourne, that's very off-brand for them.
Yeah.
I heard it. I heard it on social. Saw it on social the other day. An interesting argument, but one, Tommy Turbo having some issues at Manly. Be a chance of going to the Storm.
I don't think Tommy. I'd say the Storm would love it. I don't think Tom Trebojevic would go.
Tom Trebojevic will never play against Manly. I don't think.
Sit out that week.
Grand final.
I think he'll just keep on working on getting Seabold fired.
Okay. Bad. Ted.
Paul mentioned good squads for the Pacific Championships, and he's bang on. I'm going the other way here. And Sean Wayne naming an absolutely disgraceful England side. Australia are there to be beat this time, for the first time in a long time. Kevin Walters coaching, a lot of big names out for Australia. And he has left out Jake Connor, Man of Steel. He has left out Matty Nicholson. He has left out Junior Semba. He's left out Elliot Minicella. All these great, interesting players. And he's just put in a bunch of old plotters. Absolute. Callum Watkins was playing when I was a kid.
Yeah, he was.
All right. And guess what? Was no good back then. Yeah, Alex Walmsley is an absolute plotter. Like, if you want to beat Australia, you want to beat this pack, you need to be throwing something at them. Yeah, John Bateman's done. John Bateman is dusted. Like, well, you're telling me if you had a choice between playing Matty Nicholson or John Bateman right now, that John Bateman's the right answer? No. So he picked a super conservative side. Yeah, he pulled Joe Burgess out from nowhere to play on a wing. Absolute pass on this side. I was very excited about backing England plus every test match this time. Much less excited now. Poor squad from Sean Wayne.
It felt like when I was reading it yesterday, it felt like they've almost gone for just try and get as much NRL experience in there as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've also like left some key guys out. Left like Matty Nicholson out. He's picked a team not to lose rather than pick a team to go and win.
Yeah.
And I think that's very. This is where England runs into trouble every time.
Yeah, I saw the same thing when I saw Callum Watkins. I thought, because he came out here for a bit, didn't he, and play? Was it?
Yeah, he played for the Gold Coast like early on.
That's right. Yeah. Because before I even debuted, he was playing, running around. So he has been in it for a while.
Right, trivia time. What year did Callum Watkins play for the Gold Coast Titans?
2012?
Because you're asking, I'm going to say like 2008, 9.
No, 2019. I knew I was very well off. But he debuted in 2008. So he's been around a long time.
My bad is, and I know the answer to it, but how is the final in Australia for the Pacific Championships? I even
What is
taking
the
it, huh?
What is the answer?
I believe because when the international federation, a lot of the people on there are Australian, from the Australian side. I think New Zealand might only have one or two, maybe possibly. England have two or three. Australia, I think, trumped that with the most. But also, I don't know whether it's I'm pretty sure it's the money and someone's tossed up the Jillaroos are there. That's the reason why they've got it there. I just don't. I can see if you're trying to grow the game, which they are obviously going to Perth, going to America, try and do all this. And there's been so much spoken about a second New Zealand team. Why not take it down south and see what you can get, or go to Wellington or go somewhere outside Auckland in New Zealand and see the feedback?
Don't come here.
Well, see, what about the Netflix show that was on about Tonga and the World Cup when they played? Have you seen that Netflix show that was in Wellington?
Yep.
No.
The movie.
Yeah.
About the Rugby World Cup when Tonga went and played.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Like, why not? I just think it's silly that the finals in Australia. I can understand maybe taking a game there. I understand that. But the final, I think they've missed the boat there.
There should be no game in Australia. Like, especially in Sydney. Sydney get, 80 to 100 games every year. They've shown absolutely zero inkling over my entire lifetime of supporting international rugby league in any way, shape, or form. There is just absolutely, if you are going to have the final in Australia, have it at Suncorp.
Yep.
Now, shouldn't be at Suncorp this year. It's at Combat.
Yeah.
See, but the thing is, they're going to say, and they're going to be, because they'll sell it out.
Yeah.
They will sell CommBank out, and that will be their argument.
But I understand you want to put the game where Samoans, Kiwis, and Tongans are. But guess what? There's a lot of them in Auckland too, and that's where the final should be played at, really. And I'm all for using this international window to go. I love that there's games in Port Moresby every year. Now I think it's great for PNG Rugby League, and then we should be playing games in New Zealand. So I completely agree with that one.
Yep. You're bad.
Yeah, my bad is it's a bad for a whole lot of opposing teams next season with the appointment of Adam O'Brien as head of attack at the Bulldogs. He will have that team absolutely humming on attack, and I can understand that Teddy is probably uncontrollably happy right now. Just a massive coup by the Bulldogs grabbing the services of Adam O'Brien. So, well done, Teddy.
I'm going to parlay my ugly straight into that because that's what my ugly was. Prayers for Dogs fans next year. Honestly, do we need to remind you of the state of the Newcastle Knights this year? 24 games, 338 points at 14 a game.
A lot of injuries.
Half of those they only scored 14 on the number or less. 9 times they failed to top 10 points. Teddy, are you worried?
Well, I respect this decision from Canterbury. I respect it for one reason. Brisbane have gone, you know what? We are going to win a premiership with Trent Barrow as our assistant coach. We are going to go all in and we are going to try and win. And they've done it. And Canterbury are going, you know what? We've got Jason Taylor. That's not bad enough. We're going to throw in Adam O'Brien with Jason Taylor and see if we win a premiership. Now, I'll give them this. It's an absolute moron decision that's going to hurt the Bulldogs no end. But I've got to respect it going for the degree of difficulty on this one. That is real, just like you are going for a real narrow little bullseye here. So,
who did he replace, Teddy?
Adam O'Brien. He's replaced Jason Taylor as attacking coach, and Taylor's moved into a different role. But it's anyone hiring anyone from Newcastle. I'm all for. I like hiring former coaches as your assistant coaches. I think that gives them a bigger picture of what goes into a role, if you know what I mean. Like, so I have no problem also that guys who aren't head coaches can make good assistant coaches. So I actually have no problem with the idea that Adam O'Brien might be a half-decent assistant coach. But to bring him into the attack after the attacking season, just the optics of it are disgraceful. He had no solution. His solution was to chop and change the halfback every week. Well, the one winner out of this will be Drew Hutchison will be getting a game every second week. Like,
Keep your fingers crossed. Jackson Hastings might get a contract.
well, if there's one good news, that with Adam O'Brien as assistant coach, Jackson Hastings will not get a contract. That was marginally as well. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'll go back to my bad quickly, and it was no rugby league being shown in this country last week. It was a tough weekend.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know.
You shot AFL over there.
I know. And the AFLW was on.
You're a country that watches rugby union. You'll watch anything.
And to that exact point, I sat there for what felt like 45 hours and watched Bathurst. And my wife stopped me. She made me pause the TV and she said, "When did you become a car racing guy? When did you sit down and watch cars go around in circles?" And I said, "Love, for one, this is the great race. It's not a circle track. But also, there's nothing on. There's nothing on to watch."
And
watch Bathurst.
There was a bigger frustration in Australia. And it wasn't that there wasn't anything on to watch. There wasn't anything that you couldn't bet on it. So the women's game was obviously always going to go one way. No try scoring betting on it. No first, no last, no same game multis, no any times, which made it a very, very tough watch. You just got one minus bet on you. Like, all I wanted to do was back Phoenix training by every which way. Got a hat trick, got the first try, couldn't get a brass razoo on. So, I'd rather have just been back in hospital.
Tough scenes. Blake, you're ugly then.
My ugly, well, it's the R360. And Teddy, I know where Teddy thinks about this, but I'm a realist, and I think, fellas, look, the money's there to be taken, and you can earn what you could earn probably in a career in rugby league over 2 years. But in saying that, where it's going to get ugly is when they come back. Now, I know Teddy's like, good riddance, be gone, don't come back. We know what's going to happen. You go over there 2-3 years, you make $10 million or whatever, and then you're like, well, now I can come back to rugby league. And that's where it's going to get ugly, because teams are going to get their salary cap. They'll be trying to offload players to get players back. I think, money will be freed up. Money will be spent on other players. I think it's going to get ugly once the players do tend to or will come back to rugby league.
Take away all my carry on about hating rugby union, which there's plenty of. There's absolutely no way these people should be allowed back into rugby league. And you look at Live Golf and the PGA Tour. They're not allowed just to walk back on, because there's a whole lot of issues, like you mentioned, Blake, that the players who didn't pay the cash, the players who stayed loyal. The NRL is going to have to seriously get a position and get it pretty quickly that you are not going to be welcome back if you go to this R360, and that is not jokes. This is seriousness.
Well, something you might like, Teddy, was the rugby union have. I think there was about 8 or 9 nations that said if you go to R360, you won't be. Was it ever again?
You lose international eligibility. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? For once, rugby union and I are on the same page.
To your point around that, like the PGA Tour Live Golf thing that's the perfect example of this. But counterpoint to that is that they're at the point now, 4 or 5 years down the track, where the golfing world's so fractured, everyone just wants it to be done and everyone to come back together. They're at the point where these players are going to walk straight back to the PGA Tour.
But they're not, because like they've been at this point for a year or two where it's pretty obvious Liv's not doing anything, and that both Liv and the PGA want these players back, but they can't figure a path towards it. And to me, that's going to be the issue, because will R360 be here in 10 years' time? Of course, it's not going to be. They're just trying to get themselves a piece of something, piece of the pie, piece of legitimacy, all that stuff. So, if I'm someone like Jai Gray, of course you're going to go take the money. Like, why the hell wouldn't you take the money if you're Jai Gray? If you're Ryan Pappenhausen, I'd be thinking long and hard about what I'm doing. because you won't be coming back.
Mate, I understand as well. Like, I understand it so much, but how many times have we seen clubs, like, as soon as you have a bad season, you're gone and you lose? Like, on personal experience, my money went from okay to then signing back to match payments, which is what I was on when I first started, match payments. And I had to, and where you're paying Haas, and look, totally different players, I understand, but paying Haas can, paying Haas, I don't think we'll ever go back to match payments, but paying Haas is like, if it say he gets, what's the most you probably get in the league? Maybe you're pushing $2 million a year, and he said negotiations don't start till after $3 million a season for me in rugby. Like, you're crazy not to take. So they're offering $4 million a year. That is insane not to take. And talk about loyalty. I know loyalty to the game, but when has the clubs ever been loyal to players?
I don't disagree with any of that. And I actually have no issue with players trying to get the most out of it for themselves. But it is imperative on the league to put rules in place as to what's going to happen. Like, you can go take whatever money you want. You know what I mean? You can go take whatever money to do whatever you want. There's any of us as humans can go and do whatever we want. But with every decision you make, there's going to be consequences. And the clubs are never going to look out for anyone but themselves. So the clubs will go and do what they did with Sonny Bill Williams and let him back in rugby league when he shouldn't have been allowed back because it was a weak NRL. The NRL needs to step in and say, you guys go take the money. That's fine. But you're not coming back. And then you go make a financial decision based on that. Because if it's going to be left up to the clubs, then every player will be allowed back and the game will be severely tarnished.
Strap in. Have you got an ugly?
Yeah. Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, not really an ugly.
He got to play.
Exactly.
This is beautiful.
It is beautiful. It just has quite a bit of symmetry to it. That the fact that he picks up a 4-game suspension from the grand final, and that he will never ever serve it, so it just sits there idly. It will always be there. He's retired. He's done playing. I know. It's so beautiful. It's ugly.
Does it carry?
Forever suspended.
Yes, exactly. And could you think of a better player for that to happen to?
If he decides to play club footy, like just bush footy,
Well, bush footy, does it carry over?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. Wow,
It's brilliant.
yeah, good.
Great to see him lift the trophy too.
All right, let's go and have a look at the only game we've got odds for at the minute. For this weekend, the Pacific Championships, New Zealand $1.67, Samoa $2.20. The line is 3.5. The total 47.5. Fellas, the Kiwis I feel like have gone with a pretty strong, safe lineup. Their forward packs look pretty good, but then Samoa's forward pack equally as impressive. I give the Kiwis a tick because of we've got an actual hooker versus Jazz Tavanga hooking for Samoa. But where do we want to start? Do we want to have a quick chat about the teams before Teddy you throw some stats at us?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, guys. Cool. Go on.
It's two very good sides. Two very, very good sides. That we put together here. Just looking kind of through the list. New Zealand changes from last year. No SJ, Kenny, Nicarima, Neem, but they've all been pretty much decision based. So some fair upgrades there. Probably got advantages at hooker, like you mentioned, and I think on the edges they've got a fair advantage. New Zealand, Samoa, again, all 17 players played NRL this year. 9 players from finals teams. Advantages, I think Samoa have an advantage at coach, fullback, wing, halves. No Skelton, no Bloor, a few other changes, but obviously the big one is Payne Haas. Then two very, very interesting sides for mine, which makes for a compelling betting game. We'll get into the numbers after you guys have a chat about the teams.
What I love, Blake, and keen to hear your take on this as an actual player, but the fact that New Zealand have got Tapane, Leota, and Fisher Harris all on the field at the same time, and then Samoa countered that, got Papali,
Haas,
and
Bolo.
Polo, yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually love it because when I saw Tapane at 13, but then I'm like, he plays big minutes, and then you're not going to leave the two props out that have been in the grand finals for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But then you look to the bench, the Kiwis are definitely, if it does stay this way, it'll be interesting to see how he maneuvers the team, Stace, because it's going to be a power game. It's obvious there, which you wouldn't think coming up against Samoa that the Kiwis would be playing that power game, but you'd say Nelson and probably Nafahu White come on, but does Joe Tapine have a rest, or does he go up front when Aaron Clark comes on? Or Aaron Clark, it is interesting to see what Stacey will do and how he runs with that. I think the other question for Samoa is which side do the halves play on? Are you going to put Blaze Talangi with an experienced Isaac or a more experienced Isaac Tungle with maybe Jaden Sewer on the inside to protect him? Or how do you go? Do you go all inexperienced or with the young guns with Nanai, Mariner, and Talangi? Because that's how I'd be playing my try scorers. It'd probably be a live, anytime live try scoring bit once I see which side Talangi's on.
Yeah, I'll be backing whoever's up against Nama.
They might be together.
Maybe exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. It's one surprise I thought was with the New Zealand side. I'm surprised he played Crossland and Clark. I know Clark's a lock now, not a hooker, and he plays his best footy and running forward. But Marshall King plays huge minutes, and I would have thought that you would maybe use that other bench spot for a Xavier Willison or something like another big body to throw. I think it's going to be a power game. I think having a bit of that impact might have been a smarter way to go there. With if you need 10 minutes at hooker, get Clark over there for 10 minutes. But
well, do you put because obviously the side hasn't been finalised yet. Do you put a Kinney on the bench?
Yeah, I've done another thing. I was thinking about
because if there's a back that goes down, you don't really have an outside back in there.
Yeah, I didn't play the core in the centres, which is no good. Yeah, I like that.
Any thoughts, Paul?
I really like the look of both teams, first of all. Interesting, Dean Mariner getting selected at centre. He played the bulk of his footy this season on the wing. I know he has played centre before. Just, as you say, there could be a very, very inexperienced side if they decide to go with Blaze Talangi and Dean Mariner on the same side. Outside of that, I think the Kiwi halves match up fairly well with the Samoan halves. I know Kieran Foran's getting on, but he's got a heap of experience.
Kieran Foran's getting on. Getting on was 10 years ago, Paul. He's well beyond getting on.
How about two Cinderella stories like SJ last year getting the call up to help out, and then Foran this year? Like, come on, Jerome Hughes, just we need you, pal.
I love CH2 in the 14 jersey for Toa Samoa. He can come on and either go in and play a bit of a dummy half role or take the 13 jersey off Junior Bolo. It's a really nice mix there. I too would have liked to seen Xavier Willison coming off the bench, off the interchange. I think we saw over those last 2 or 3 games that the Broncos played in the finals, he made an impact when he came off that bench for them. Defensively, he was super, super good for them. And he scored a nice try as well. Yeah, I really like the look of that fella. I'm surprised he's not in there somewhere. And I agree, we do need a back on that interchange because Toa do have Harris DeVita, and obviously he can slot in the back line if something goes wrong. We don't. The Kiwis don't at the moment.
Teddy, what stats have you got?
So these guys have played 5 times in the past. New Zealand 5-0. 4 matches have been by 18 plus. 50-0 in 2023. 38-8 in 2017. They're only matches over the last decade. Recent form. New Zealand lost to Australia and Tonga in the Pacific Champs last year, which was a very disappointing season, and came out and beat PNG 54-12. New Zealand's only one loss to a non-Australian side since 2018 was last year. Samoa, they've lost 5 straight. They went to England, got absolutely smoked. Did reach the World Cup final in 2022. Yeah, for mine, I think New Zealand just have to read a bet here based on probably a little bit of history, but also I think they've got fewer weak spots in the team. I think both the strong suits for both sides are right up there. But I think, like Blake pointed out earlier, a few defensive weak spots for the Samoan team that I don't think New Zealand have. I think they've chosen probably a pretty conservative side. And Dylan Brown, Kieran Foran are not going to set the world on fire, but they're not going to let you down either. So whereas someone like a Blaze Slang, you can go either way. So I'll be laying the 3.5 points in this one. I think that's the way to bet in this one.
Okay. Anyone else got anything to add, or should we get to some betting?
Bet.
Have a punt.
We don't want to no talk of other games.
We don't have any odds up at the moment.
No,
there is, of course, with Fiji v Cook Islands.
Paul's Cook Islands.
Sorry?
Paul's Cook Islands.
Paul's Cook Islands.
100%. Yep. Yeah. Go the boys.
That's how interested he is. Yeah.
No, well, KL Ito in the centres, Brad Takarangi in the halves.
How's that guy still going around?
No Davey Mawali or Marata Niokore though for the Cook Islands this week, which is a bit disappointing.
Mm. And then the Kiwi Ferns take on Samoa as well. And
with no Peyton fucking Moana.
PNG Orchids Fiji, is it?
Come on, Blake.
PNG Orchids against Cook Islands.
Cook Islands, sorry. Yep. So there will be odds up for those games later in the week.
Yeah, well, this little one, I think you want to be on the Cook Islands women's team, will be my guess. That'll be a good price against PNG.
Okay. Blake, do you want to kick us off with your betting for the Kiwis Samoa game?
Why not? New Zealand minus 3.5 at $1.90 is my best bet. My anytime try scorer, Murray Taulangi. Had a bit of time off now since, you too. Oh, no. He's at $2.35. I don't mind that price at all for a winger. I think he'll cross. I think he will play left side too. Same game multi, New Zealand 1-12. Jeremiah Nanai to score. And I had Jeremiah Nanai, and Brian To'o, one combined. And under 47.5 points at $8.31. And my anything else, the odds aren't up yet. So I've just taken just thrown a dart in there and just see what we come up with. It's Fiji to win, New Zealand to win, the Cook Islands women with the plus, and the Kiwis women 13 plus.
Probably getting $1.97 for that, I reckon, all up.
Well, I don't know. We'll be looking good. I think Fiji and the Cook Islands game will be a lot closer in price.
Nice. I'll go next. My best bet, Kiwis 1-12 at $2.90. I think there'll be a little bit of feeling out period. Might take a little while to get going. Both teams. Try scorer, Brian To'o, $2.02. Just finds the line in every game he plays. Same game multi. I'm getting a little bit weird here. Casey McLean anytime. He's playing on the left. Hopefully Foran's playing on the left. Little short ball, skip ball. Love to see it. New Zealand minus 1.5 at halftime. And second half tries for Samoa over 1.5. You're getting $5 for that weird little same game multi there.
That is a weird same game multi.
I was trying to find some variance in what we could do. And then anything else, first try scorer, Casey McLean, 11.25. Paul?
My best bet, Peyton Tucky Moana to score a hat trick. And oh no, hold on, she's not playing. Okay, well I'll put a line through that one. My best bet, Murray Taulangi, first try scorer at $11.
Someone's chasing before the first ball's been bowled.
We've cleared the slate. Like, this is a new. You don't have to.
Oh, this
like,
new slate is
No.
it?
Yeah, new slate.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I've got it on the same scoreboard. So
Wow.
that's it. Joseph Tapine to score a try. He's my try scorer bet at $7.25. My same game multi.
Dan Stewart hat-trick. Same game.
No, I didn't go that far. Murray Taulagi to score 2 or more tries. Samoa
Samoa minus 17.5.
plus 3.5, and either team to win by under 12.5 comes out at $17.62. And then my anything bet, a successful field goal in the match at $6.25.
Paul's
I just want to
prediction is
apologise to all of New Zealand for this. This is disgraceful.
they're going to score 9 tries each, and it's going to come down to a field goal.
I just love how excited you got after, you heard me say Taulagi, even though you've just bagged me before saying I don't know anything about rugby league. But you're excited we picked the same. It's amazing.
Wait, who said Blake didn't know anything about rugby league? It can't have been me. Oh, no, Carl said that, and I'll tell you what the
stats back it up.
The stats say. Blake,
I also told you that you were third on the list of guys that missed out. Yeah.
It's a roller coaster, this roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
Blake should be an immortal. Blake can't punt. Poor Blake.
Blake Ashford, Payne Haas, same.
All right, Teddy, bring us home.
Best bet New Zealand minus 3.5, $1.90. Try scorer Isaiah Papali'i, $4.20. Great try scoring form. Same game multi, Ryan To'o, Hassan McLean, $4.18. Both scoring tries. And any other odds aren't up yet, but Cook Islands women 13 plus.
Oh,
big price.
13 plus.
13 plus.
They
will smoke the Orchids.
Really?
Here we have it.
Man,
So then my plus might be a minus.
I hope they're underdogs then.
Well,
Jeez.
yeah, you said the plus, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Cookies will be favourites, but
The last time they played, I know PNG won, and it's almost close to the same team the Cook Islands had that game.
Close to the same team, but they've got a lot more NRLW experience. The Cookies and Kare, the Sharks halfback, whose name escapes right now. Kiwi is surely going to play a pretty big role in that game. The Orchids were. I thought Australia didn't show up on Sunday in the PM Sterling game, and PNG still got smoked.
Okay, we're done.
We're done.
Thank you, punters, for listening. Thank you, fellas, for keeping it under an hour this week. We still went 10 minutes over our target time, but that's all right. We're getting better. Yeah.
Look, you can cut off one of my rants, or you can cut off Paul's bets. But I'll tell you which one with the smart, which will be the one that you'd be well advised to do.
Good to see Teddy's back fizzing.
Thank you to everyone. We'll be back next week to do it all again on the Advantage Line.